Hello and welcome to this Universal Piper tutorial, specially designed for keyboard players, chromatic instrument players and composers. In this video, we will explore Universal Piper in 3 parts. First, we'll show you how to configure Universal Piper for use with a MIDI keyboard, any chromatic instrument such as an EWI or a score editor. Next, we'll cover the specific features of Bagpipes. Finally, we'll take a tour of the main features of Universal Piper. Let's start by setting up Universal Piper for use with your MIDI instrument. Using Universal Piper with a keyboard is simple. During installation, select the Keyboard option. By default, Universal Piper listens to all MIDI channels at once, both for the chanter and for activating the drones. To activate the drones, simply hold down the bass drone note of the selected instrument. You can see this note in the fine-tuning panel. Alternatively, you can click the Drone On button. Next, in the hardware panel, check that the MIDI inputs you want to use are active. They'll show a green light when ready. Just click the indicator to turn them on. Below the Panic button, you'll see all the MIDI messages coming in from your active inputs. Now, configure your audio output. For the best performance, set a low latency, ideally 5 milliseconds or less. On Windows, you'll often have several audio drivers to choose from. Not all of them handle low latency playback well, which can cause sound distortion. To check, select a driver, set your latency, and play the test tones. If the sound cracks or distorts, try another driver. For music production, ASIO drivers are the best choice on Windows. Most external sound cards include them. If your system doesn't have ASIO, you can always download ASIO 4 all for free. Now let's move on to discovering the unique features of Bagpipes. Universal Piper is a virtual instrument dedicated to bagpipes. A bagpipe consists of a chanter, which plays the melody, and one or more drones, which produce continuous notes. You can view the composition of each instrument in the Fine-Tuning tab. A key characteristic of the chanter is that it is monophonic. It can only play one note at a time. If you press several notes together on your keyboard, Universal Piper follows a last note priority. The most recently pressed note takes over. When you release it, the previously held notes sound again in the order they were originally pressed. On most bagpipes, the chanter also never stops sounding between notes. It plays legato by nature. To repeat a note in bagpipe style, players use a well-known ornament, briefly playing the tonic an octave above or below before returning to the original note. This creates a clean separation, just as a real piper would do. To play this ornament, keep the note you want to repeat held down and briefly tap the tonic note above or below it. Releasing it brings back the original note, thanks to the last note priority behavior. Bagpipes generally have a limited range and a specific scale. Universal Piper offers all instruments with an extended chromatic range of around 2.5 octaves. The instrument's original notes are shown in white, while the root note is highlighted in orange. Each note in the scale has a distinct sound. To optimize your playing, we recommend setting the instrument's key to match that of your piece using the key function in the home panel. Another unique feature of bagpipes is their tuning. They are not always tuned, using equal temperament to optimize resonance with the drones. You can switch to equal temperament at any time by clicking the Tempered button. However, be aware that this may alter the richness of the drone's sound. Finally, bagpipes are not always tuned to 440 Hz. Universal Piper allows you to quickly switch an instrument to 440 Hz or even force all instruments to a specific frequency by locking the A frequency. Now let's explore Universal Piper's features. The Home tab provides quick access to instrument selection and main parameters, optimized for live use. You can also manage your custom instruments here. An instrument groups together the settings available in the Home, Harmony, Fine-Tuning and Effects panels, as well as the MIDI configuration choice in the MIDI panel. In the example, we overwrite the factory preset by changing the drone presence and create a copy of the instrument in a different key. In the Harmony tab, you can adjust everything related to harmony, key, tuning, second voice, and drone notes. You can also customize the behavior of the pitch bend. Shape your sound and ambience with the effects available in the Effects tab, reverb, equalization, and even more avant-garde effects for bagpipes. An important parameter is the gain, which allows you to adjust the relative level between each instrument. The Fine-Tuning tab lets you build and tune your bagpipe note by note for both the chanter and drones. You can adjust the tuning, sample, and volume of each note. The Playback/Recording panel has three main functions: playing MIDI or BWW files, recording your performances in MIDI or audio, and using a metronome to accompany you. You can control Universal Piper with your fingers and feet via MIDI through the dedicated tab. The MIDI chanter panel is dedicated to the chanter and drone voices. The MIDI parameter tab lets you configure additional MIDI controls using your keyboard knobs or a pedal board, for example. Finally, in the Preferences section, you will find links to the Universal Piper manual and tutorials, as well as quick access to the folder containing your instruments and configurations. Universal Piper is a powerful tool for exploring the unique sound of bagpipes, whether you are a keyboard player or a composer. Thank you for following this tutorial and see you soon for more musical explorations.